New Zealand's forests are marvellous. However, there's one problem with them. There are foreign invaders and threats. They're the well-known threats, such as the possum and stoat. However, I believe there's one invader worse. It is the feral goat. Feral goats are present in all habitats throughout New Zealand and are able to thrive in all of them. They eat whatever vegetation they can reach, destroying the forest floor. Currently, there are only two solutions to the feral goat problem. The first is hunting. While yes, it is effective, it requires tremendous amounts of effort, and in order to fully eradicate the goat problem using only hunting, it would require many hunters, which is impractical. The second solution is using poison. For example, 1080, while it is incredibly effective, it is very controversial. So that means the whole nation will never be united and we can't attack this threat as one. Secondly, unnatural poisons such as 1080 can kill our native birds, which of course is terrible. Because goats eat all the vegetation they can get their jaws around, I propose we plant more of a poisonous plant called tutu. One species is Eureka arborea. It is a native plant found in all parts of New Zealand, and in fact its habitat lines up perfectly with the habitat of the feral goat. Therefore, when there's more tutu in the environment, the feral goat will eat the tutu and they will die. Also, tutu, it's a living poison. So that means there's no need to reapply it like there is for 1080, meaning that once tutu is planted and established, it will continually kill any goats there are. Tutu works because it contains the neurotoxin tutin, which is a potent glycine receptor antagonist which causes muscle convulsions and death within all mammals without affecting our native birds. Now that we have a solution to the feral goat problem, where will we apply this? Because of course any solution which involves poison needs to be applied in only certain areas. There are several effects of tutu on farming in New Zealand. The first is that tutu, if cows, sheep, or deer eat tutu, of course they will die. However, this is not that much of an issue, because as you can see, on your right is the distribution of feral goats in New Zealand. In blue is where the feral goats mainly are. And then if you compare it with the map on your left, there's actually very few areas that overlap where feral goats are, and there's major farming, as well as where there are feral goats on farms. Farmers can simply shoot the feral goats because there aren't many. The second problem is that toxic honey is a major issue within the manuka honey industry in New Zealand. This occurs when bees pollinate tutu flowers, bring back tutin, and poison their honey. This honey can cause convulsion and death within humans. However, this is, once again, will not be an issue. The main area where manuka honey is produced in New Zealand is in Northland. You can see in Northland, while there are many areas where there are feral goats, there are lots of areas where there are no feral goats, or very few feral goats. And because bees only fly a maximum of 5 kilometres from their hive, on average only 800 metres, there can be areas set up where there's high manuka tree density and little to no tutu, where there can be many bees and no goats. And then now that there are areas where tutu can't be planted, where can it be planted? Is in the remote areas. They are mainly in national parks. One such example to the Wellington region is the Rimutaka Forest Park. I propose to get more tutu into the environment is to simply plant it. This can be done by setting up employment in nearby townships, for example, Wainuiomata. They have an unemployment rate of approximately 11%, which is over twice that of the national average. And by setting up employment in Wainui, those employees can walk the many forest tracks into the Rimutaka Forest Park. You can see only a few there, they are the major ones. There are many more in the forest park. And they can walk through these tracks, planting tutu every so often. And of course, it would have to be a bit off the track. And this would increase the prevalence of tutu in the forest park, killing goats. And all of these tracks, they're easy enough to do. They only take 5 hours to do from Wainuiomata to Catchpool Car Park, which leaves plenty of daylight to plant the tutu and to make sure that they are not stressed. Then for more remote areas, such as the Whanganui National Park, there could be a system set up where trampers or hunters have a certain cost from their hut tickets waived or their hunting license waived if they plant this many bags of tutu seeds in this manner. Of course, training is required, but this training would be negligible. Overall, tutu would have little negative effects on the ecosystem, or more tutu would have few negative effects because it's already in the ecosystem. It's native and is there. It would restore our native forest and the forest floor. It would provide food to our native birds. It would kill those threatful mammals in our environment. But most importantly, it's a permanent solution. Thank you.